Good evening, Rising Vibes. So, on this stormy day, I thought, why not talk about psychic vampires? Okay, alright, it might not be as cool as Hollywood, because we're not talking about bloodsuckers here. We're talking about energy-sucking vampires. Now, like I said, it's not as exciting, but the thunder is. Thank you, nature. I needed the side effect. But anyways, so these sound effects. I don't really do good with, I don't know how to make videos like most people with. You edit in and you have all these little ratings and stuff and all these little pop-ups and the beautiful pictures. So I got nature. Apparently nature's like, you know what? Psychic vampires right now? I got you. So, how to discover if you are around, near, or are a psychic vampire. Psychic vampires, what they do is they make you feel, make you feel like, just have to make that big there, make you feel like they're sucking the energy out of you. No one can take your energy. Your energy comes from source, the source of all energy. And only you can block yourself from it. So now that I've, really hit a, nerve right there, because it hit a nerve with me. That means, I do this all to myself. And to think about that really messes with you. But you got to remember, we're all from source. So we are all one. So to think happiness and life and love all around is great. Now, psychic vampires. When you're usually around a psychic vampire, they make you feel like all the energy is sucked out of you. And it makes you feel like they're stealing your energy. You're miserable afterwards. You might even feel depressed. You feel like nothing that you do is good enough. And then every time you see them, you feel like it's back to square one. So, how to recognize a psychic vampire. 1, they love self-pity. When they go through an event, they talk about it with a lot of exaggeration. Now, you gotta remember, yes, I was a psychic vampire once, so it's gonna hit some nerves, so I'm gonna say it. When you cry about it, when you talk about it, when you're whining about it all the time, you're wanting that pity. It makes you feel better. You're wanting other people to engage in your negative situation. You're just like, I will go with my example. I'm going to take it. I'm going to confess that when I was a psychic vampire. It'd be really cool if the thunder hit right then. Or lightning, but it's okay. Anyways. I found out that I had cancer back in 2009 after my daughter was born premature. My daughter was already fighting to stay alive. I had preeclampsia, which is a medical effect of where the uterus and the placenta are separating. And if it fully separates, it's usually led into death in the medical field. That is, so the only cure for it is to have the baby. Well, her heart rate dropped, so they had to take her. It's a longer story than I have to give. I found out I had cancer, and I instantly told my mom, because it's scary. And you're like, you just want somebody to make you feel better. But when they don't freak out about your situation, you're like, it's cancer. It's cancer, Mom. Do you want me to die? Hello, Mom, I have cancer. That was me. Straight up. I was like, she doesn't even care, because she was like, that's nice, honey. What? That's nice? In what universe is that nice? And over time, I dwelled on it. And the more I dwelled on it, the more the cancer built. But you get to a point, you become a psychic vampire. And it's because you don't recognize what you're doing. You want other people's energy to be focused on you. You're And then you're mad when it's not. Like, they're selfish. But it's not selfish of me to tell you, hey, I don't want you to focus on yourself because I want you to focus on me. Which way selfish? I mean, how are we going to get into this? If you don't love yourself, you're not good for anybody else. So you have to think of yourself first. And that's a hard pill to swallow. You got to let go of the ego. But you have to make sure that you're vibrating on the frequencies that you need to be to manifest what you want to. Otherwise, all you are is a psychic vampire. Still would have been cool if there was some thunder, any now and then. It'll happen. Anyways, so I started to realize after I'd already battled it for 7 years, and then I got depressed because I wasn't waking up and I felt so alone. Psychic vampires love pity. They love to create arguments. Now, I wasn't big on arguments, but we're just recognizing different symptoms of psychic vampires. So, they like to create arguments. They always like to be right. They will create fights amongst groups to get people to side with them. It makes them feel good. They'll also get in fights and say they're going to leave because you telling them, no, don't leave, please come back, I need you, makes them feel wanted because they don't love themselves. And they literally, when you become a psychic vampire, I was one with the cancer. And when I ignored it, the cancer started to reverse itself. It started to go dormant because I wasn't focusing all my energy on it. And I didn't know this at the time. Otherwise, I probably would have slapped myself then. Like, really, psychic vampire? No, I'm just kidding. I didn't even know about it then. But they'll have sicknesses or illnesses and like all this terrible stuff will happen to them because they're earning for other people's love and attention because they want their love and attention. And so their body's telling itself that they want to die. They don't want to be energy. They want to go back to the source. And so it happens. People get depressed and commit suicide, and it's so sad because we're all told it is bad to focus on yourself. Well, if you want to take the Christian Bible, for instance, another reference that I can think from of the great teacher, Jesus, or Buddha, I mean, yin-yang energy exchange, here we go. If you seek first thy kingdom, all else will be added onto you. The body is the church. Meditation, this is the flesh. You are vibrating on a different frequency. There are many parts, but we're so relying on touching. Like, I know this sleep is real because I can smell it, I can see it, I can touch it, I get to taste it. Anyways, if you don't focus on those and you just believe it and you think about it and you make it, you create it. It's big twist there. But you got to realize that you can go from psychic vampirism and become a psychic vampire, and people will literally, when they think of you, they'll think just dread. And you'll attract all these healers and like these spiritual beings because they're wanting to help you, they're wanting to heal you, they're wanting to bring you up. But in the meantime, they're putting all their energy forth. They're not actually losing it, but they're just wearing themselves out, trying to please the other, the psychic vampire. Being a psychic vampire is hard to be around. And I'm going to tell you right now, shut yourself off from psychic vampires. And recognize when you're starting to become one. Because when you start to become a psychic vampire, you realize that you're miserable. And you're just straight miserable. And it leads to addiction and depression and everything else. You have to focus on you first. You have to accept the fact that it's no one else's fault. It is what you choose. It's your perception. It's what you... If you're running away from your deepest desires, you're never going to manifest the truth, the real you. Be authentic. Be yourself. Who cares what anybody thinks? I don't. Not this girl. Until next time, don't be a psychic vampire. Rising vibes your way.